We're back and it's time to kick this off once again. Our final best of 3 of the day. We're moving back over to the North American region. We've got 100 Thieves taking on Cloud9, and this is another game which is 100% going to deliver. 100 Thieves, they showed us that they came really prepared with their new coach coming into play, and Cloud9, they continue to make improvements beyond what people may have thought. I've got Potter, I've got Pimp, and we're back ready for another North American game to see how this one's going to go down. And my starting question to you guys is, this is one where actually, if we're going 6 months ago, you'd go 100 Thieves, no problem. Cloud9 right now, though, could certainly give them a run for their money.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Cloud9 that we've been seeing so far has just been an explosive Cloud9, especially on their T side. Now, their CT side, they've had their struggles, they've had their issues, but they seem to be working through them right now. They're heavily leading towards their attacking side. I mean, it just seems like their set pieces really enable Floppy to just consistently get those multi-kill entries, no matter if it's on Dust 2, no matter if it's on the outside yard on Train. Floppy, he's got the pathing down and he's got the utility and the teammates to back him up. So it's a really polished looking Cloud9 that I've seen so far.
Yes. And this group as well, right? It is turning to be more and more spicy when it comes to Group B, because EG down in the 0-2, you probably wouldn't have predicted it 1-1 for Gen G right now, but someone's got to go and join them here today. And well, 100 Thieves did look good right in our opening game here, but I think for Cloud9, if they can get this, they're just sealing the deal.
Yeah, I agree, and I think both Cloud9 and the Thieves looked pretty awesome in the first game. I think I'm more surprised about the 100 Thieves playing so well, considering they just brought in Chiat as a new coach. We knew Cloud9. They've been a good team, for quite some time. It's not like Cloud9 has really elevated their level. I feel they're just playing up to the same standard where everyone around them is falling down from a cliff. Liquid, of course, EG. There's plenty of names to take from that pool. So, I mean, a great matchup, and if you look towards Cloud9, then Christine is pointing out the right names right there. She's pointing us in the right direction there, State. You look towards guys like Floppy, and you think to yourself, is that a player that, in 6 months, maybe 12 months, a year to now, will he join Team Liquid? Will he join one of the biggest teams in the world? Because he's playing some super, super solid Counter-Strike, plays with a lot of confidence, plays with a lot of powers, and to me, seems like he's the big star of this lineup. So without him playing well tonight, well, I think the Thieves are going to have this one relatively easy then.
And we had Floppy for the interview from Cloud9 last time around, right? And I really want to focus on this because we're talking about the players that can hit the shots. We're talking about the players that top the scoreboards. But JT got some serious praise as the leader, the mastermind behind it all. And I think that's the true difference maker here, right? Is that we see North America struggling with the IGL role and some people taking it, other people just quickly dropping it. But JT seems to be a leader that these guys have a lot of confidence in.
Yeah, they certainly have a lot of confidence, and that's what I love about this young Cloud9 roster. I keep talking about their formation. It seems like a tight-knit group, the camaraderie. You can absolutely see it in all the content that they pump out, but also they're always tweeting about each other, always complimenting each other, always being each other's hype man, And so this young, organic-looking team, it certainly helps boost their morales, and I think that's exactly what they need to just continuously progress and continuously move forward, because let's be honest, this is still a developing team. It's still a very young team. And as Jacob mentioned, right now, as the NA scene, the top echelon of NA teams, as they're duking it out, Cloud9, these players, they're very new to this being in the conversation.
Well, let's see who's hyping who up in the video here from Cloud9.
Playing versus 100 Thieves, like when we play them on practice and stuff, they always play us pretty well. It's a really hard team to play against. They play really good fundamental Counter-Strike, and I think that's really good versus our style. It's hard to beat for us, and it's always challenging when we play versus them. Lately, we changed how we prepare. Everyone's like doing their own prep individually, and a couple small things I really can't say for the interview, but we're a team that practice a lot. We put in a lot of work, and I think as long as we continue stuff like that, there will be no issue for us moving forward.
Change up. Flash in, Sonic got 3 plays to do with double flash. Sprays absolutely money. Kitty connects it all together.
I believe against 100 Thieves, our teamwork and individual level is higher than theirs. We've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of time. We have to play our best Counter-Strike to beat teams like this, and we will come into the match prepared.
Now, I liked what he's saying there, right? And one of the things I want to take away from this is the fact that they are still, like we were saying, developing, they're changing things up, but their individual skill level being that potential higher. The thing I'm thinking here as well is with Chet coming in, new things changing for 100 Thieves, does this give a slight chance now to help Cloud9 climb above them in a way, just between this series, while 100 Thieves are in the middle of changing things? Because not always are you going to come off hot.
I find it super interesting that he's saying that they're doing their own individual preparation now instead of doing it as a team, you know, or at least doing more individual preparation. I think that's to me is a key, right? Because Chet is a guy that we just heard him coming into the Thieves, and he's saying that he's now doing demo reviews with Thieves. They weren't used to do demo reviews with Kassad apparently, and that's just quite a, you know, there's a conflict in those two teams, way of preparing for a game. I think Cloud9 is still the underdog here. I think the Thieves are still the better team, no doubt. You know, they have the more experience, they have the better players. A guy like JKS, yeah, Floppy is good, and Floppy may be a player for the future, but JKS is the star of today. That guy, JKS, I think he's one of the best players in the world if he can find just a bit more consistency. His skill level, his skill ceiling, and the way he consistently plays without making any mistakes in the server, he's one of my favorite players to watch, simply because he doesn't make it look flashy, but he's always up there, always dropping close to 30 frags if he's having a good day.
And that's one thing you can really rely on, right, when it comes to him. But it's the other pieces of 100 Thieves we have to look at here, because they've now got a stable roster. They've had some international success. They've started to grind their way up a little bit. But it's now time for them to solidify themselves while turmoil is going on for the rest of NA. And do we believe that they now, with Chet behind them, is this going to be the final piece to sorting this all out?
You know, it's still to be determined, right? I think 100 Thieves, it was absolutely respectable how they debuted with their new coach last time around, picking that overpass, showing them we're ready to come out of our comfort zone. But I'm looking exactly towards Liaz. You know, every time JKS, he's popping off, his right-hand man, it's got to be Liaz. He's got the mechanical skill to back him up. It's taken him some time, I think, to become very comfortable within this Renegades 100 Thieves era within this squad, but now you're starting to see it. I mean, he's just become very lively within that server. So I think Liaz, he certainly thinks he's the better player and team than Cloud9. So I think he's gonna have a lot of personality in this series as well.
And he's really got to come in and prove it. And I think the whole 100 Thieves lineup have to come and prove it. So let's see what they've got to say going into this one.
Maybe.
We're just gonna get trolled by production, you know. We'll wait for them to kick it onto the video whenever they can, but I'll keep it moving forward, because 100 Thieves in general, right? We've seen them succeed. Oh, okay, their top is coming now. I'll stop talking.
Coming up against Cloud9, we aren't probably going to prepare that much, just because we already prepared for the last match we had against them. So we'll use some of that information. We'll have a look and see if they do anything new, but we're practicing them as well, so we kind of get a gist of what they're doing.
Got to try and check Jacob. Oh, but the first break coming through, and the second. Jacob doing so much work. He even gets a wallbang headshot with the end.
I mean, I think it's expected of us to beat Cloud9 whenever we come up against them, just because of, I don't know, our experience and what we've done and the team that we are. But, like, it's online CS, and you have some of the biggest names in the world losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. It's kind of like a weird scene right now where everyone can beat everyone. Anything can happen on the day, because online CS, lol, but can't see why we wouldn't win.
Gotta love the Grat stash in there as well. But Gratisfaction's an interesting player alone, right? Because when he first came into the roster, he was a very different style of AWPer, but slowly we've seen the progression come out of him, that he can actually challenge some of the best in the world, which was certainly a worrying point for a lot of us when we were looking at this roster earlier.
When you look at the composition of the 100 Thieves lineup, you look at the players, you look at each their attributes, you look at the skill level, you don't think to yourself, just by isolating those 5 players, that they will be a team that is nowhere near the top 10 in the world. Let's be honest, there's a few skill players in there. JKS is definitely the best of them, right? But it's not like Gratisfaction is a superstar of his own. It's not like Lias is a superstar of his own. It's not like Asa is, you know, more than just a good caller. But as a unit, as a team, they work super, super well together, and they have my deepest respect, because I feel the Thieves and that whole team for ages now. They've gotten the absolute most and best out of those players. No, if they were to switch to some other team, I don't think they'll be competing, at the same level as they are right now. They know each of their strengths, they know each of their weaknesses, they say it, and they make the best out of it. So yes, there's a lot of skill on the lineup, but compared to how well they've been playing the past year, I think they're overperforming, and that deserves a lot of credit because they're overperforming consistently, and that takes a lot of powers.
Takes a lot of hard work as well.
I have to disagree with this one. I've got to disagree with this one. I think Gratisfaction, his skill ceiling, it's still yet to be determined. I think he's, as a player, since he's joined this squad, at first we saw him making a lot of rookie mistakes. Then he's transitioned into being a team player, a team opper. And still, I think he's still got that barrier to reach to just come into his own and start making huge plays. And I think that's the missing piece for this Gratisfaction player. It's still yet to be determined if he can actually go through with it in the big stages and the big high pressure moments where it actually matters. He is a little bit more quiet, but I still think his skill ceiling, it's quite up there.
He's had his time though. He's had more than a year to do that, I feel. So I can see what you're saying, Christine. It's just like, again, when you look at those players, right? They have been doing well for quite some time, and they're consistently performing at some of the biggest tournaments out there. But player by player, if you dismantle this team and send them 5 different ways, there's only a few of those players who will actually find back ways into a tier 1 team. The rest of them will probably just be tier 2, tier 3. And I think that deserves a lot of credit, because when you can, elevate a level 5 player to a level 8 or to a level 9 in the right circumstances, that's when you know you got something good going within your team.
Well, let's see if his potential will be unlocked, maybe in this game as well. But it's time for us to look at the veto and see which maps we're going to end on. We know Overpass was added for 100 Thieves, but will they go into it again? And it does work out that both teams are kind of shy away from the Mirage side of things in here, but that's actually a little bit of a change up, and we are going to see it coming in. Okay, I like it.
This is very interesting. Interesting. I had written down that 100 Thieves would be picking out that Vertigo. Cloud9, they barely lost in that last series when they met in the Road to Rio. So this time around, I mean, leaning towards that Mirage, allowing 100 Thieves to make it another punish pick. This is interesting.
It's very interesting. Looking at the maps, it's going to be a fast-paced game. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a hectic game. Dust 2, a map that is heavily driven by the momentum. Mirage, a map that is very open in terms that both the T side and the CT side, for that matter, can sort of control the pace. And most teams, they like to play it fast. They like to play it explosive. And then, the Decider map is a map that can go both ways. I think just by judging at the maps and judging where these two teams are at the moment, we're in for a good one.
And that Mirage, right? We saw it just there. Okay, Cloud9 only having 1 game on it, not having the win. But for 100 Thieves, they've played it a few times. Not exactly the greatest win rate, but some of the scorelines weren't that good, awesome either for them. The Overpass pick, they obviously showed us confidence against EG in it, but they know how good C9 on it, so I'm glad they respected that. Do we think we're going to get 3 maps this time around, though, guys?
Oof. I think so. I think that Mirage pick, it's thrown me for a curveball. I wonder if Chet, as little time as he's had with this squad and as much focus as he's had in trying to outplay his opponents in this veto process, I don't know if he saw this Mirage coming, to be honest. I think he probably leaned towards that Vertigo, and I don't know. I mean, 100 Thieves, they've never played Vertigo in quite some time, so this is going to be quite the challenge.
You know what, James? I know a certain group of people who definitely know better than we do. So how about you ask them instead of us?
Oh, yes. Let's see what Twitch chat are going to do this time around, because they went against you last time, Pimp, and you got lucky, right? You went for the end side. So
knew it all the way,
we don't want to know.
Knew it all the way.
Of course you did. Oh, of course. Let's find out, Twitch chat, if you can best Pimp this time around. Which way is it going to go? We're going to a break, and when we come back, we'll be going into the series. Surely, Twitch chat, you will be able to take down Pimp this time around. We know how much you love him, or maybe, probably, most likely hate him. You know how toxic he gets. So let's find out. I'm the most lovable one. I'm never toxic, Pimp. How dare you say that? Let's find out what these results are, though. I want to see where they're going with it. And, oh, this is super close.
Wow.
And in favor of C9.
Can I take the word and give Twitch chat a compliment? This is probably the first time you guys out there have not made a fool out of yourselves. So congratulations, you are getting smarter and smarter game by game. Absolutely love you guys out there.
Oh, wow. Pimp's just trying to now appease the community in this. So I'm going to start with you, Potter, right? Which way do you think this game is going to go? Because for me, I'm still so unsure.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. This one's really up in the air for me. I'm going to go with Cloud9 here. I was super impressed with just the tight-knit formation of their attacking side just in their series the other day. I got to say, though, 100 Thieves, I'm expecting Liaz to pop off, and I'm hopeful that Chet has had a lot of time to have a game plan on that Mirage.
Yeah. Pimp, where are we going?
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be an incredible close game. And that being said, I think Thieves are going to win 2-0. I think that they are looking quite good right now. I think both maps are going to be super, super close. But I think when you look at the individual players, when you look at the experience and the lineups, I just feel like every time I watch Cloud9, something is missing. They have all the explosive players. They have all the recipes for a good team over the years, but right now it feels like every time I watch them play, something is lacking, especially on the T sides. That being said, though, we're playing Dust 2, we're playing Mirage. You know, it's a little bit more free throw maps, so it's more about hitting your shots individually. And what I saw from JKS the other day, and what I saw from JKM when he finally woke up, that's going to be enough for me to say the Thieves are going to win 2-0 in two very close maps.
Well, I love CS and I love great games. I want 3 maps, but I'm going to have to end it with 100 Thieves. I think just in the skill level, what they've got to offer should be there, but we'll have to wait and see. I know it's going to be close, just like those results showed. And for anyone else looking to get involved in this, you can head to DreamHackPick'em.com because someone has got to take down Scrawny. He keeps bragging about where he's getting with it, and I'll talk to him a little bit later on where he might be at right now because this man is trying from start to finish on this. But guys, we're in for a great game. It's just coming up, so it's time to get you guys out the way so you can watch the game and bring in our commentators, bring in the 2 beautiful Canadian faces. It's Launders, it's Scrawny, and Scrawny, I'm going to start, man. How's your pick'ems going? Come on, let's get an update.
Oh yeah, what's the
Hey,
update?
not so great. Listen, we're still top 100, all right? Out of 3,590 entries, we're in the top
Very
100.
specific.
So,
Any chance of winning? I mean, you still have a chance of winning, right?
Still definitely a chance of winning. Yeah. I mean, there's many more days to come of
Do
DreamHack.
the fans at home have a chance of winning?
They most certainly have a chance of winning, especially if they head to DreamHackPick'em.com. Make sure you guys get in those selections.
But don't
There you go.
beat Scrawny because he'll be upset. He keeps really going
Yeah, I
on
really
about
need
this.
doesn't like to win.
processor.
He
Yeah,
likes to win, yeah.
He's
I'll,
really just
be
trying to
knocking
get that
on your
hook
door.
up in there. But this matchup, guys, right? We've seen so much from C9 that's impressed us and beyond what we ever thought might have been possible with this roster. 100 Thieves, though, they're the staple. They've got a new coach behind them. How do you guys think this one's going to go? Because everyone's very split right now.
Well, first things first, I really hate to say it, but I think Pimp had a good point.
Ooh,
And that
wow.
was that the 100 Thieves are one of the only examples in CS of a team that is greater than the sum of its parts. I think the other team that's the most obvious example is Astralis, a team that's people don't argue has the most talent, but they win the most. And I think 100 Thieves have been punching well above their weight. And I think while JKS is a star, I'm not sure he's a superstar in the same level and vein as a device, as simple as et cetera, et cetera. I think he needs something. He's like a Crims and he needs a JW or he needs a Flush. He needs somebody else to be as consistent. And I think I do believe like Gratisfaction has had a lot of time and is relatively inconsistent. He could show us. I mean, you know, we never know when a player is going to peak or just something will click in their head and they'll find that consistency. We hope they have it. And if they do, they'll probably be top 5 or something amazing like that. But for the time being, I think a lot rests on JKS, who has been playing well, and maybe Liaz, who also has been playing well recently.
Scrawn Dog, you got any different opinions on that one?
I think I agree with what a lot of Mohan just said there. I
That
definitely
means you
think
accidentally agreed with what Pimp said as well.
Yeah, but no. I don't agree with Pimp. I agree with you.
Gotcha.
All right, I want to make that. very clear distinction.
Okay.
Listen, I thought Cloud9 looked really awesome when they played versus EG. I think that they had, at least in terms of the North American DreamHack Masters groups, the best level of aggression without making costly mistakes at the same time. You know, we talk about aggressive Counter-Strike, and when we do, sometimes we also have to couple that with the inherent issues that come out when you're playing at a super quick speed. But that didn't look like the Cloud9 that we saw on, say, Train, for example, versus Evil Geniuses. And I don't think that Cloud9 are going to be able to exploit that type of pace throughout all maps, throughout all opponents. But I do think that if they feel like they smell blood in the water, and we get that type of very smoothed out killing machine from Cloud9, that 100 Thieves are definitely going to have their hands full. So I'll mirror what Pimp said. and I'll predict that these are going to be close maps, but I just have a hunch that Cloud9's here to take over the region.
We do need to stop feeding Pimp Go at this point as well. I'm 100% sure. But we've got Dust 2 coming up first. It could be crazy. And if JKS doesn't get going early on here, it might be a problem for him if Cloud9 come with that momentum. Guys, take this action away from us. Bring us those beautiful voices and let's get into the action.
Thank you, Jake.
Baby.
It's nice. You know, with him and Potter, at least a couple nice people on the analyst desk.
Level-headed analysts, yeah.
There we go. But listen, no, all things aside, I think Pimp actually painted a really good picture for this matchup. I agree with a lot of what he said and that what you repeated as well. And I do think Cloud9 are going to struggle with this one. It's going to be a tougher opponent than Evil Geniuses. There's no way they run through these maps. I'd be really surprised if that happened. But what I'm happy about is like what I just said about aggression and Cloud9 thriving within that. They can utilize that on both of these starting maps. So maybe they walk into this series and just blow the Aussies out of the water. But a part of me doubts that'll happen. So let's just let the players speak for themselves. Without further ado, folks, here we've got it. Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Dust 2 to begin, and we've got the Aussies on the defense. Double flash and a kit for Azur, and we're immediately trucking Cloud9 out towards long. They're not going to meet anything on the first corner. Their only point of contact will be Liaz way back, so the gunfights start unfolding as fast as they could. Nice for him to pick up a quick headshot, and Gratisfaction's going to body bag one as well. Liaz in with the cover, good for a second kill before JT finally answers here for Cloud9. They just want their bomb plant. That in and of itself would be a win at this point. Counter-terrorists give them no time to breathe, already sprinting up the ramp and getting the retake theirs.
What more do you need than getting 3 kills before the bomb can even touch the bomb plant zone? So that's it for 100 Thieves. They picked that up, no problem at all. JKS Liaz, who turned up. And again, to speak to consistency here, Liaz, I think, has extraordinary peaks and also has been meeting that with the stats to back it up recently. In this previous series, scoring, I think, 100 ADR over the 3 maps or 2 maps or whatever it was. So he's a player, I mean, I've got my eyes on at all times. And yeah, I just feel like JKS needs help because he is the most consistent and kind of main shining star for 100 Thieves to work off of. But what we saw out of Cloud9 in that last series was spectacular. The pace at which they brought, the gameplay that they brought, they had a variety of strategies, and I think that's where I think I differ from Pimp a little bit. There really wasn't many holes that I could see that seemed huge for or glaring for Cloud9 in that last series. They looked pretty freaking spectacular.
OC out from middle, trying to take a bit of a gander here towards CT spawn. Not going to find anything just yet. 100 Thieves, their first contact will happen on Cat. Imagine had that contact allowed for somebody to fall into OC, but just as he starts going around those next corners, we've already got 100 Thieves back into their CT spawn side. Now OC will be spotted and yet still successful in getting that first kill towards the B site. Because of the shotgun, the weaponry kind of forces the hand of Jacob here. He has to push into the tunnels. Unfortunately for him, not finding any contact whatsoever here. So no real way to turn the tables back into the favor of 100 Thieves. They're even smoked out inside of their spawn. So if they even chance this retake, it's going to be a tough one.
He could do nothing more than park this Mag 7 because the angles are no longer favorable for him to perform this retake. Yeah, that first kill meant the world, clearly. Cloud9 steal it back, and it's so legitimate. I mean, they get a bomb plant, they get the buy that they wanted. 100 Thieves knew exactly what they were going to do. This isn't some kind of weird force up. They have very respectable types of guns and utility to work off of, and we see how important that one kill can be. Jacob, if he tries to fight window from within the site, I mean, he's going to get screwed as well, and then be out again for the next round. So Cloud9 win this off a bomb plant, steal back momentum instantly, and we shine a spotlight on to OC. As we can see, this sun glare. I swear to God. Yeah, for real. I mean, I feel like they need to close this curtain because I would have so much glare on my screen. I mean, I've got blacked out curtains right now just so that hasn't happened. But he was opping to an extraordinary level. I mean, in terms of positioning, he was always in a good spot. He did miss some shots, but ultimately had impact, ended the games with tons of kills, and had lots of rounds that you could remember, that you could recall, where he clearly was a pivotal factor. Excuse me. He was absolutely necessary.
Yeah, really good form. But we did talk about it, right? The Draken factor, where he would miss the first shot after being posted on an angle for 30 seconds, only to re-peak with 2 lightning quick response frags. So I am expecting big things from OC in this series once he gets on to the AWP. For now, Well, we've got, again, the same sort of posturing that we saw in the previous, where Cloud9 go up cat. At the same time, there's a chance in mid. JKS throwing out some utility, peeks into OC, and that's going to cost him. Now they're going to follow up with the double smoke towards CT spawn, trying to pinch into the B site. Azure decides to run right through, and he's going to take down Sonic. But that's all he gets. It's going to be really difficult for another retake to happen. I'm curious to see if they just call the save.
Yeah, it seems like Azure, his call to action was get as many kills as possible. Otherwise, there's no chance. Jacob's left in the exact same position. They can deny exits. They do have really good spots to do this. Jacob could go ahead and make a case for their team right now. Yeah, that locks in 3. This could be a big win for 100 Thieves. If Cloud9 aren't careful, they have to figure out which is the best way to exit. And tunnels is already probably off the table. That being said, 100 Thieves have doubled up in the tunnels, which leaves mid a bit weaker. And now the fights will have to come out as this bomb ticks to explosion. Floppy will make headway out mid. And Liaz, who had to reposition, ends up dying. So this works against 100 Thieves in the biggest way. They lose all of their kills.
Yeah, just that one Galil moving forward here for Jacob. So they tried to force back the same way Cloud9 did to them, and it doesn't pay off. We're going to have to watch 100 Thieves cool off a bit. Azure, nice attempt running through the smoke, but when there is literally 5 people on the other side, somebody's bound to be watching you.
He's being the best teammate that he could be because Jacob can't help himself. They already lost that 1 kill at mid, and it was smart for Cloud9. They cut noise completely, walked out mid, waited, and JKS had absolutely no idea that they could be that close up. So here's a 3B for Cloud9.
Yep, should be. But, with little to lose, 100 Thieves can take some risks. They've decided to go over towards the B side at the start of the round. They see nothing. Gratisfaction gets into the lower tunnels, though, and he even gets that dink versus Floppy. So Floppy, 3 health, down for the count. That's a second rifle picked up for 100 Thieves, and again, they have nothing to lose. So maybe they just want to clash here on the A-bomb site. There's a chance for it. They've got a frag grenade as well if they want to try and soften someone up.
OC still has a Molotov. This could spell disaster if he's used properly.
Yeah, they're going to try. Why not? Galil and the M4 at bats and pistols within the mix, but it doesn't go too well. Jacob, last man up at this point. Still 0 deaths, but I can't help but feel his first looms near. He's dancing with OC, and that actually gives him a chance to fall away from this. So Jacob going to move the M4 forward. And unlike last round, where holding towards middle ultimately cost the CTs more than it gained them, this time, even trying to get close to that A site allowed Jacob to take down a couple players. So some losses added against Cloud9. Just a chip in the armor here as they do still have momentum.
Yeah, label it a win here to get the 3 kills after picking up this first rifle down by Gratisfaction. Happy to go up cat if they are rewarded with those frags. 15 grand basically off the table for Cloud9 on that round. They will be buying, but still 100 Thieves. So the save guns would have had an impact, but don't seem to negatively affect the buys on this round. Just a couple of grenades short of an absolutely maxed out buy. Mata makes his way out long, OC to support him, and the op can't repeat. This leaves 100 Thieves scrambling to regain map control. Will they turn their attention back to cat? It looks like yes, that's going to be the answer. Gratisfaction still eyes down long. Bomb is making its way over to the other side of the map, however.
Cloud9 looking to swing it back here. They've thrown the smoke grenade down onto Xbox, so that's supposed to help Floppy for the possibility of a cat play. But 100 Thieves, because of that forward cap position, they should understand that A, probably less in question.
Yeah, now it's up to Floppy to make sure they don't turn that corner, just completely denying that information. As long as 100 Thieves are guessing that they could be around here, then Long also feeds into this fear. Molly off on Cat to separate the targets, but Gratisfaction gets pushed forward.
Ooh, 3 T's line up for Jacob, but just a little bit too much to handle. OC plucking Gratisfaction from the skies. JKS denied anything as Sonic just barrel stuffs him on the side of the smoke. Azure comes up empty-handed, and that's an awesome round from Cloud9. I love the fact that you said Floppy has to keep them on the other side of this corner, and even though 100 Thieves were afforded the peak and weren't punished, it was the utility going down at long A that kept those players hesitant of calling the B hit.
No, seriously, we're seeing sick levels of coordination from Cloud9. They look super smart, playing with all their parts properly, hitting all their shots, and it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down as well. Long control cannot be taken here by 100 Thieves. They don't have the tools to do it. Toolbox is waiting for them in the next round.
I'm going to raise a red flag here, and it's completely Counter-Strike unrelated. I'm apologizing ahead of time. There's a huge-ass wasp in my room, and if it comes close to me again, I may just disappear.
If you run from the mic, I'll take over. It won't be the prettiest cast, but no problem.
It's really big.
Just make sure to scream really loud, so I know.
So everybody knows.
Yeah, exactly.
For the meantime, we're going to stick to the guns, though, because there is still a weapon for Jacob. You shouldn't be, man. I'm sweating bullets. I'm trying to hold it together. Just like Floppy here on the forefront of the A hit. He gets up the ramp for completely free. Nobody seems to see him. And maybe another frag to his name. He sees the player towards Catwalk, and Sonic's just going to bomb plant amidst all this chaos, because even though it's chaotic, it's still very one-sided. Rifles just picking apart these pistols over and over. JKS single kill. Jacob always seems to save.
He is always, it's the life of a B player. He's doing a good job of kind of staying alive, at least. Not in a position to retake. He has recycled this Mag 7 for many, many rounds now. This Mag 7 has been passed down for generations. This Mag 7 is a relic. This is his prized possession. This is his blankie. He doesn't want to give this up. It's his security blanket. It's not
so old, it's actually made of stone.
Yeah.
Real artifact style.
That's true. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Okay.
No. he's just pulling on our heartstrings.
Passed it into the future. Not exactly sure why it left his hands. How you can let go of your security blanket like that. Under Thieves. Watch out. Wasp venom contains a pheromone that causes other wasps to become more aggressive. Try not to swat one near its nest or other wasps. Does this make you feel better or worse, Connor, now that you have been imbued with this information?
I made the mistake of leaving the window open between our best of threes. You know, I was outdoors, went for a walk, I took in the sun, trying to live a normal life. Real gamer
Meanwhile,
hours.
The wasps, they took a break from outside, went for a fly, came
we
inside.
switched bases.
Yeah, and now you've got you've got the age-old problem. Do you close the window and keep the wasp in, or do you open the window and allow the wasp to leave, but also risk allowing more wasps to get in?
I'm just going to try to not think about the fact that it's flying around. So out of sight, out of mind. Counter-Strike is my savior. It has been. It will be. We shall see what happens here in the 7th. But Modem, he's going to get snubbed out behind that blue box, able to exit out long really quickly. And they're going to try to really hammer this home. Gratisfaction, he doesn't know that a single player crossed, but he gets lucky. A couple of missed shots from that T lets him slip back towards pit.
Man, this is interesting. They did a good job of catching rotation. So even though 100 Thieves got that kill, they got the mid frag, which throws things into a very precarious spot. Jacob's only got the Mag 7 as well. So is JC committing across? Yeah, it looks like the op is falling completely back. So they can actually plant if they'd like to. A is definitely the worst site to take from some perspective, but they've got the mid flank on and Gratisfaction in pit. 100 Thieves should be able to win this.
Should be. I thought they were going to go two players on Cat. But it looks like Liaz is going to be tasked to do this alone. Oh, but he finds Sonic. Must have been tunnel vision. Must have expected some kind of an Xbox jump. That's the only thing that would explain why he'd be so far peeked out. We'll have to see in the replay maybe, but it's the two AKs on elbow. Awful position to be stuck in now that Liaz comes back. And Jacob jumping shotgun. If that shotgun served any purpose across the 20 rounds he seemed to have it, I think it's for that jumping kill right there.
You have to wonder what Sonic's watching, because he could have been holding the Xbox jump, but he's not even in a good position to do that. No reason for him to turn around, at least. I mean, if somebody's asking him to throw grenades. Oh, I see. Sorry. I thought he was completely looking in the wrong direction. I'm mistaken. He was, definitely looking the right way. Yeah, I thought he was turned around looking up Cat. So
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. 100 Thieves. Yeah, they were still favored to win the whole situation, I'd say. Just even though Jacob was only so useful with the Mag 7, they had great retake spots. And OC loses the duel. JKS, surprise op for him in the B site. Sitting now, happy with this man advantage. Don't need to throw anything else through a loop. Cloud9 again though, working on mid control the same time they're pressing on another choke point. Done a good job of catching rotators. This time, no one at mid, and they crouch right into the op of Gratisfaction, who obviously, is going to be holding an angle here on Cat. Long control's established with a rifle right now. 3 out for Cloud9, and it's definitely tough sledding.
Yeah, double op setup paying off here for the Thieves. Cloud9 not doing a good enough job of getting them off of their angles. Peek dry into 2, and now lose their 3rd. So they have options. Minute on the clock. Could just try for the bomb plant on A, could sprint inwards. I believe that was a little boost, trying to snatch up Gratisfaction.
The novelty of the double op setup will not wear off for 100 Thieves. On some maps, it's only useful for 1 round, and then you're actually more susceptible to certain types of executes and contact explodes. But on Dust 2, doubling up on B with an op is always going to be a boon, even if they know it's there.
Nicely done. Perfect timing.
Yeah, so 100 Thieves, they've got an advantage with this double op setup no matter what, even though they get that kind of gimmick kill where Cloud9 are not expecting an op to be peeking there.
And the second crouched right in.
Yeah, OC has another thing coming. They must have known, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they actually thought that the op was given to JKS just off the spawn, and that's why they peeked Catlet that way. So that would make a bit more sense. Fake out here on the long side. Draw some grenades from the CTs, but the CTs are the ones with vision. Pushing a B.
Oh, damn. Jacob and JKS locking down that B hit. Floppy does catch Azur in mid, so that's at least something for Cloud9. And this is already more of a success than the last round because Cloud9 didn't do a single point of damage in the 8th round of this map, even despite it being the full buy. So they don't lose out entirely this time. Floppy able to create that space for the bomb to cross over. And I'm curious to see whether they try and go back to the cat hold. They lost out on it previously, and there's no real clear route back there. Not to mention tons of counter-terrorists trying to play for it. So instead, they feel like they can pressure along, and it is only Liaz playing with his grenades, can't get his gun back up in time, and that's a huge kill, because now everybody can double back, turn attention towards the elbow, and look to lock this down. But JKS has other ideas. One op frag already his, he's gonna clean them all.
JKS
gets the headshot, it's a thing of beauty.
Justin Savage. Would you look at that? Happy to peek in OC, knowing OC's watching up high. He's already dropped into spawn. Nails the first kill, and obviously the quick scope.
2
to top it off. Woo.
Yep. 4K in the round, 3-piece on the retake.
And that's the star power we talk about with JKS. He definitely has what it takes. Very consistent. Cool to see him offing as well. And to get the op retake kills, no less, for the brownie points.
Sonic's able to get back behind blue. Smoke plumes on the corner. Azur has to fall off. I think 100 Thieves have done a really good job so far with their tempered aggression, right? Like, I haven't seen them overextending to their death in any way.
No, agreed. In that sense, they always play like a top team. You know, they do try to limit their deaths at every turn. And although sometimes their rounds aren't as flashy, it's more conducive to the players that they have.
I would like to rant that incendiary should not be extinguished if the smoke is on the door hinge.
Agreed.
Thank you. Gratisfaction, 1 kill. And not a second. Floppy, good trade as Sonic comes in. Big pinch. Finding the timing. 2 players gunned down long A. And just like that, they've got themselves the plant. Floppy swapping to the op leaves JKS alone. No go on the retake. This is Cloud9 back in the lead. And extending that lead by 2 rounds now.
Seeing the Gratisfaction re-peak is obviously a bit of a head shake, but then when you see that the long pinch was coming, he had to open up space on that choke point. Otherwise, they were screwed. Floppy takes advantage of the situation tremendously. 3 frags, with the first one being the op, and then the long pinch to come in immediately thereafter. If there's anything that's Cloud9's strength, it's their ability to move fast on multiple choke points. They have done this so well. Great shot here, and yeah, taking the op and then making it the other team's nightmare. That's how you want it to go. Cloud9 extend their lead by 1. It could have been a tie game off that. But now we get a reset. Wow. Sonic jumping out long, dodging some flashes. He'll have a target in front of him. Azur, a bit too weak on the spray. Sonic waiting for a flash, maybe. At risk of getting spammed at any point.
Wow, but he's the one that lines it up. Sonic, big play out here on long. And this is that type of aggression I was trying to allude to before the match got it started. Like, Cloud9 seem very confident when they come into this, layered aggression, when there are flashbangs planned, when there are, I want to say like, never mind.
I think layered is a good way to describe
layered,
it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, where they've got different tiers to their executes. Big Grat, he's got that kill. That's a huge one on Sonic. He did his job as the entry fragger, but he also served as the one-man advantage that they had.
They're going to go for the wall of smokes, doubling up on them. JKS plays close, little spam, but no damage. Meanwhile, Gratisfaction goes deep, clears the catwalk, knows he can double back once the Molotov's extinguished, but what do the two CTs from spawn get up to? Well, they boost into the site, they try. One player towards car, down for the count, that's Floppy dusted. JKS back into the cover, OC close, and that's the nail in the coffin. Cloud9, 7th T-side round, making this long split look real good.
OC's position would not work so well if there was the cat player to come up, but he's got a teammate to get the other kill, leaving it in a 1v2. Trades are so nice here for Cloud9, and they do it with simply long, which is not something we see all the time anymore. It feels like on Old Dust 2, 5-man longs were one of the most primary strats that teams would default to, but these days it almost always results in a split or some kind of fake with long control, or all the kills just coming out at long. Neither of those being the case. Nice flush out Molotov to catch Gratisfaction on this round. Of course, an eco here for 100 Thieves as they try to kind of resurface their economy as they're moving in to refresh the doorman. Leaving Cat a bit weaker, leaving A tiny bit weaker. And Jakem, once again, bored inside the B site.
I just want to believe that shotgun's the same one as last time.
Wondered how many times he's beat himself at Connect 4 sitting in that site in the last few rounds.
Just waiting for something to happen at the B-bomb site. But I think Cloud9, they're starting to figure out the recipe for success. They've made a delicious meal of this A-bomb site. When you're good at cooking something, you can eat it 3 times a day. Cloud9 in that mood at the moment. 8-4 after they yet again get through with many survivors left over. 4 men up at the end of it, so the economy's rolling, the rounds are coming through, and we get that tack pause out of 100 Thieves.
Fair play. I think the double op setup is still possible. They'd be definitely worse on grenades. Half armor would have to be a compromise, but they could still use it if they wanted to. Close quarters, king. Jakem has more Mag 7 kills than op kills in his career. Wow. Well, we're respecting his role as a rifler, I suppose is what that all means. That's definitely surprising, but it's good because the shotguns in general have very many valid spots, and you just get so much money for shotgun kills that basically getting one is like not even buying the shotgun. You know, like you're basically getting all your money back for getting a single kill. No other guns can really say that.
Are you a shotgun connoisseur or more of an SMG expert?
I mean, I'm always down to rumble with a Nova.
I like it. Old Nova.
Yeah.
The age-old classic.
Oh,
back into the guns, and very aggressively up from Catwalk was Azzer, so Floppy picking up the first kill, that's big. He's having a good game, slowly getting up there, 12-6 at the moment. JT back into the B site. There's Jacob's attempt to hold him back, but it's Gratisfaction and Liaz with a couple kills to their names. This is a hectic moment for Cloud9 as they desperately try to cross that bomb, and they are able to plant. Now, JT has flashbangs, but he's also low health, so he's going to try to set up Modem. Modem, maybe? Yeah, goes for the mid-peak, takes down 2. There's a third player, and he gets away from it. Now, not knowing that Gratisfaction's this close, Grat changing guns, firing off and announcing himself in the windowsill, and he finds nothing more. That's a huge moment for Modem to come alive. He's got 7 frags in the map, 3 of them right then, right there.
I got a chef's kiss for those 2 flashbangs. This setup is beautiful, even staying on top of it. As we can see, when the last man comes out to peek into the window, he's got perfect view of 2 players, which is exactly what he doesn't want. And yeah, it's the first flash everyone turns from. The second flash, you don't expect it. And what beautiful aim to complement that flashbang. An amazing B-site hold. And this is a round where 100 Thieves risk it all. Gratisfaction goes out for this pick. Liaz meets him halfway with a kill, and they make that competitive when every single other time that they pushed into B, they've lost the site in totality. They lost a round completely and given up. That time they actually had a chance, and Cloud9 still stuffed them at the goal line.
Little car spam here, giving a chance for 100 Thieves to make moves. Nice. Liaz just puts the big one down on Sonic. God, the Deagles have been so good today. They were great yesterday as well, dude. I mean, he's not the server, but like, give me them Kusta Deags. If somebody's bringing that level of Desert Eagle to play today, I am all for it. Little M4 spray down here from JT. Good versus the up-close pistol players. And he's looking for more here as he entries towards the site. Floppy with the one-tap dirt nap. Azure on the flank. Drops bomb.
Hey.
And that kind of makes things interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's got line of sight here. Oh, the extinguished Molotov. The long range. Oh, they tagged him with the smoke. I mean, who knows? Okay.
Bottom does.
Cloud9, no. Yeah, they finally counter it.
10-4.
10-4. Roger that. We've got now the last round. 100 Thieves. Do we have the second op? That's a question here.
Do it.
B-Site's a little bit scary. JKS says no. He's doing just fine. Let's see if the setup has anything interesting. It's actually a whole lot of B presence. 4 towards tunnels. What does this tell us? Well, fast push out mid. JKS. Oh, he's got to spray them all down. He gets 2. That's very good.
Nice. That's going to send them spiraling back. Last round of the half, so why not try something audacious? Oh, Jacob coming out from Humvee. He's got 2 bodies and the third to lock it down. Finishes the half 10-7. He waited 15 rounds for a chance to step up, and he gets it at the end of the half. Enjoy the break. We'll be back in a moment.
Kill that wasp.
Cause you never gave me nothing. You just left without a trace. And your touch left me guessing, trying to fill this empty space. But I said I'm not gonna let this break me. I said I'm not gonna let it say. I said I'm not gonna let this break me. No. Tell me that you think about him, even in our private time. And tell me when you say my name, was it really him on your mind? I don't know how you do it, pretending like you care. I'm questioning my intention. How could you say, how could you dare? But I said I'm not gonna let this break me. I said I'm not gonna let it say. Said I'm not gonna let this break me. I don't normally go on this way, but I never been hurt like this. Now I understand what they mean when they say that love's a bitch. Well, I guess I'm only human, and I'm bound to make mistakes. I've been this way for way too long. There's only so much I can take. But I said I'm not gonna let this break me. I said I'm not gonna let it say. Said I'm not gonna let this break me. No. Said I'm not gonna let this break me. Said I'm not gonna let it say. Said I'm not gonna let this break me. No.
Wasp up. I mean, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Connor, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right.
Any wasp
About it.
ratings?
No, not as of yet. I think I've been spared for the time being. But just like this map, I don't want to let my guard down because suddenly we could see Cloud9 under attack here. 100 Thieves switching over to the offense. Lots of utility in their pistol. Something that we've actually been seeing from them quite frequently, which I'm all for. The bigger your brain, the better the play.
That's almost always a fact. I mean, Flesh would tell you that's for sure a fact. He subscribes to that theory. He's got a monthly subscription to that theory. He pays annually half price to subscribe to that theory.
You really got to commit to it. Just like this long push. Double wall of smokes. Jacob He is looking to bump into the bomb site. Floppy, oh yes, he gets flashed through the smoke, executes 2 players, but what do you know? You fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's actually the B bomb site, and that means 4 versus 2 retake. Now, if there was more terrorists to try and lock this down, then maybe they'd have a more favorable chance. Fumbling through the utility. He's probably scroll wheeling or something. JT already in the site, but Lee has 2 headshots. There's a chance. They run through his Molotov. Look at the health they lost.
I wanted it for him.
To force it.
I wanted it for him. It's all through. It would have been all through his utility, running through his smoke, through his Molotov. He gets the first 2 kills. He got damage on the last 2 guys. I wanted it for him so bad. But Cloud9, I mean, even though they were hoodwinked, they still had 4 players alive. So that's the only problem with running a fake with 2 people is the chance that they die, because then it's a 5v3. And in this case, it was a 4v3 or 4v2. So wait, sorry, was there 3 that died there? Why was there only 2 in the B site? 3 died at Long Crossing?
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's a hard commit. I'm not exactly sure what the ultimate plan was. It couldn't have been to commit to A site with 3 people. Or maybe it was. You know, on the B side, I could see that being legitimate because it's hard to break in if there's still 2 there, if you're split up on the CT side. So maybe that's why. But Cloud9 looking for a 12th right now, and yeah, they've got to dig deep because they're already down Modem and low on OC. Sonic should go pick up OC's gun.
No, already gone. Check out Azure. They stole it.
Oh,
Thieves.
No. Sorry, I meant OC. Like OC should give over his gun to
Bogdan's
Sonic.
Law.
Pretty
I
much.
get you now. Sorry, I thought you meant retrieve the fallen weaponry, but
yeah,
the Aussies staying true to the team name.
Yeah,
making sure they grab it as quick as possible. Now they are entirely pinned into pit, and this is kind of a stalemate. Yep, they know that they're stuck in pit. Cloud9 know that they're stuck in pit. 100 Thieves knows that Cloud9 knows that they're stuck in pit.
Well,
they're just gotta fight their way out. They're gonna push off of the side of the smoke. Big spray from Jacob, good for 2. OC, he's the one that grabbed a double. So can Ricky Camaro come into this A site and actually upset? He doesn't want to announce himself just yet. You saw him toying with the idea of the smoke. He has to now move forward. Oh my God, he gets 2. Gratisfaction puts him down.
Man, I was going to say, the high-value play is Floppy not holding down long the whole time since he already made presence, and then he makes his way back. But look, we have all the CTs pushing through into their... They had him locked down with Floppy here to add to the A-site hold, and 100 Thieves were committing to it. I mean, there's a chance 100 Thieves go back and try to kill Floppy. That was a possibility, so that's probably why they pushed. But I think, you know, maybe they could have used Floppy a bit better there, waited a couple extra seconds. Either way, they've now on pistols. 100 Thieves steal it back a little bit. They take some damage for this attempted long hit. And the smoke is about to come up here. They're going to see the cross.
Yeah, at least the first one. But whoa. Gratisfaction. Good headshot. Meanwhile, pistols still paying off, doing good damage. Picking up bodies. I love how quickly Cloud9 decided to run towards long. I have never seen somebody miss that
Miss
smoke.
the hinge smoke, yeah.
That should be illegal.
And that's what it costs you if you miss.
Oh no, they've dropped the bomb. Jacob, he's going to desperately try to get his hands back on it, but there's a huge flank through spawn that would have gotten them all had JKS not finished it off with the Galil there. So 100 Thieves, they recover the round, but that was looking wonky for a moment.
Absolutely. Great rotation from Cloud9 to take that long control, but not sit on it and wait and see what happens. Instead, running back to mid, the exact location that 100 Thieves wanted to break out of. They catch Gratisfaction, who...
It's been like US Black Friday watching Cloud9 play these last 2 pistols. 6 guys run it long, 6 guys run back. This time towards the B site. Why did I say 6? There's very clearly 5 players on a team. Okay. Well, listen, it's just the pistols, so it should come up empty-handed, but the flashbangs have been on point. They're just causing these weird situations. Sonic, no! 3 kills with the USP. I'm either starting to lose my mind or this game is getting crazy. I'm all for this. Just another round, a prime example of the aggression that we're getting out of both these teams. You know, even if it's costing Cloud9, they're not falling away from those initial clashes. And I think stylistically, that's why these teams are so exciting. But they hold. They wait. Nothing too crazy gonna happen here. 100 Thieves, flexing a little bit of utility. All grouped up inside of the tunnels. Flashbang misses the mark. Now, Floppy, I mean, he is very much an anchor here. We've seen great spray downs from this position. We've seen players come up empty-handed. He's trying to dodge as many as he can, and taking 2 is decent. They've got more players already starting to stampede through the doors. More gunfights at point-blank range. Sonic, he's managed to get through! And 2 kills after the fact. No business winning that round, Sonic. But he somehow manages, whether he's hiding behind the car on the USP or sprinting through smokes on B, he makes it happen. And that's just a little Sonic magic. You love to see it.
I'm gonna need the play-by-play and the analysis because I think I just got dropped out by accident. I missed what happened.
Is it the
after
loss?
Jacob got that wonderful pick. Yeah, they've come to Toronto.
Yeah, basically Floppy's behind car on B site. He's the only player. 100 Thieves make it simple. Charge in. All that matters is Sonic. Okay, that's all you need to know. Sonic's a monster.
Sonic. Okay.
Basically, what he did with that USP the round previously, just did it with an M4 too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Floppy. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Showing us what he can do. Maintaining some spray. 5 health. He's fine with this. Big kill here. Cloud9 lead by 4. As they're applying application of the pressure on Cat. CT's roaming, grazing, and chilling. These need to make the next move. They're the ones down. They're the ones on a Mac 10. They're the ones who are low on rounds. Beautiful A setup, of course. B is a little bit weaker, especially with a player right side door. 100 Thieves might be making the perfect call here to split on B. Really comes down to Floppy, who's so low to try to help his teammates, and he's not boosted in a great spot.
Especially not with that smoke in his face. Molly goes by him. Now there is that second smoke that he can somehow work around. With the flash, it almost happens. Azur, though, he takes the mid control, and JKS with the quick headshot versus OC. That's the B site crumbled.
Save it, save it. They have no nades. They would be more than happy to take this, maintain this lead for now. I guess 100 Thieves are low on nades as well. They're still sussing things out right now. Don't think a free kill's coming their way. They don't have B tunnels control either. I mean, if any of them die, you know, at this point, it's like kind of tragic because they're kind of low. They could have saved that A site. They're holding for the exits, which is fair play. And as long as they don't get too aggressive, I think it's fine. Yeah, Modem's actually moved out to a pretty cool spot as well. He can play off of JT. JT, you're going to show face. You got a gun for next round, my friend. You're risking a lot.
And you know JKS is just waiting for it. Oh, wow. Timing. A fickle mistress.
Yeah, it's always part of this game. It's just how things go. It's no one's fault, really.
I think maybe OC is the chosen one.
The light would indicate that. I mean, the light on his in his keyboard. I mean,
because any mere mortal would not be able to play with that level of glare. So he must be
seriously.
He's a demigod or something.
Plus, it's like reflecting off the monitor to his glasses back to the monitor. I mean, it's amplified. Burn a hole in his screen.
Look at Modem go already to the top of mid. Sometimes they announce that with a flashbang, but he goes in with nothing to give indication to the T's. And look, Azur, he's watching it, so he doesn't realize that we've already got Modem to slip by.
Oh,
now he is a little wary of Jacob. And Jacob, well, he kind of hesitates here, still thinking about the tunnels. Modem's gonna go get him. Oh, there we go. All right, one of those shots that you really got to make sure you land. So now Azur, he's gonna take that bomb, comes to join his other 3 T's, but we do have the remnants of Cloud9 entirely stacked up on this A site.
And they have an op.
Let's see if Sonic can put it to work. OC only has the pistol. 0 for 2. 0 for 3. Blind on the smoke. M4 for JT. Just good for the 1. And Sonic has to fall back here because if they're going to have any chance now that Modem's come over, He needs to keep himself safely tucked away. But I think, yeah, they're going to have to call the save there. There was a chance for Sonic, but he sort of dropped the ball.
That chance is where it began and ended. You know, he had the 2 shots to be able to hit. If he hits those shots, they win kind of an unfavorable situation, though they were on even terms after that flank kill came through. So I would have liked, honestly, if they were just all up on site, because the cross smokes come in. You don't really need someone in CT unless you're defending against cat drop. And they're not useful, obviously, when the smokes come down, but you have a better chance of maybe spamming through the smokes, which can help. So, yeah, ultimately, it's like you miss a couple of shots from Sonic, just try again next round. They save the AK for Modem. Floppy off the information can kind of get an assist for that one. Jacob dying in the playground. Cloud9 lead by 2. And it's a great spam, yeah, to take out OC. That's definitely a big deal.
Yeah, it would have been one of the pistols to just push through. But we've got Cloud9 back in with the bye. 2 rounds the difference, 12-10. Still CT side leading. However, momentum tells us 100 Thieves are on the up and up.
Yeah. Ooh, another great shot from the T side. This time it's not Jacob. It's the primary, Gratz.
I would love to know the stats on opening op picks between these two teams right now, because on the defense, we saw JKS with like the surprise B tunnels pick workout. And now even on the offense, 100 Thieves getting the best of these fights. But I mean, they're also constantly finding them. You know what I mean? Cloud9 are always offering some sort of a pick somewhere on the map. And right now, 100 Thieves are just doing a great job of figuring out where it's coming in from.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Crush here from the A side. It's not a pinch. They don't have the long control. So it'll just force JT into holding, and Floppy gets a lurk kill. So it's a 2-on-4 situation. JT has an op. If they are too lackadaisical about this, you could potentially score some points. And there's one shot in. Long pressure here to catch him on the way back. And Liaz, well, he'll put an end to JT's short story.
Floppy on the retreat. Ooh, almost had a chance at the head.
Yeah, he's obvious. Floppy scored 180R, man. He's always going above and beyond. But if they avoid him, they don't really have to win. Oh, yeah. Just to make 280R on this round, rack him up, missed a Floppy. How hard do 100 Thieves want to hunt? This is an impoverished game from both sides. They're both quite low. It's not exactly favored to 100 Thieves just because they won with the bomb plant and have 3 up now. You must be prudent.
1 round the difference. Call what?
Call the game.
Call who?
Who do you think has this low now?
If I had to base it off, I was gonna say after the first half, it was a clear Cloud9. But these op picks opening, if that keeps happening, if we keep seeing Cloud9 offer opening duels, then there's a world where 100 Thieves are just gonna take control of this.
Ooh.
An attempt at the flick, but it goes amiss.
Here's what we know, though. You know, if the CTs have the best spawn to long, they beat the T spawn to long every single time. Problem is, if you have the same people going out to the same spots, there's not going to be someone in the best long spawn on the CT side. 100 Thieves, therefore, are running a gamble by having someone peek on the T side every single time they do it.
Whoa.
How long will that work is a question.
Got a little suicide squad charging down the catwalk. They knew that they were not favored, but they tried to play the element of surprise. Doesn't work out for Cloud9, but at least they've got an eco strat. You've got to respect that. 12 rounds apiece. So anybody's game, as it has been since the get-go.
That's true. It's a poor attempt in a bad movie. Good makeup, though. Suicide Squad.
Very true. Decent soundtrack.
But a bad movie. Very bad movie. Okay, I'm a pet. Rush A. Though by the end of his time, their EG struggled on Dust 2. By the end of the time there, EG struggled on Dust 2. I'm a pet's team at one point had a 13 map winning streak on the map. Wow. I didn't know that. 13 map win streak on Dust 2.
How exciting.
Wait, did I know that? Because I was maybe competing with Astralis at a certain point, but then stopped at 13. Yeah, that does say a lot. And I really still want to argue that. I mirror the sentiment of the desk. It's not easy to streak on Dust 2. It's a map that you can take it into your map pool and still lose to most teams. It's a map that's very simple and there's not a lot of innovation that's come from it. It sometimes comes down to gambles. Maybe the defining factor is the talent. Finally, you've been pointing this out, Connor. A 5v4 for Cloud9 finally in opening op duel 1. But the answer is right there. Gratisfaction, 4-4 now. And he gets another. Sonic's out of the round. He was opping. And his eyes have been closed.
Sayonara, sucker. Gratisfaction. He actually took a bullet from OC, but survived the wallbang. And then comes in with the 2 picks that counter out what was Cloud9's man advantage. So Gratisfaction has been the difference maker here in the 25th round. A crucial pivot moment. But he gets executed. JT swoops down on mid, sees that it's completely clear, and Floppy, can you go big? Tries to play off the flashbang, comes up empty-handed. Still, 1-man advantage here for the Thieves. JT charges through, and because of the flashbangs, nearly gets it all. Liaz into the clutch, trying to read Modem, spraying just next to his head. A warning as to what's to come. Liaz, bomb, and he's gonna stick it. Modem puts a molly at his feet. This is going to make Liaz move. And inside of the flame, he gets the headshot. That's incredible.
There's no defuse, though. Yeah. Oh, my God. Modem kills him in the fire, but he can't defuse. Holy smokes.
Smoked. Liaz, listen.
Second, you saw something on Reddit recently about like a kill that happened right before the round ended to the very last millisecond. That's about as close as it gets. Stacked the lineup. JKS, Liaz, Floppy, and Jacob are the top 4 rated players at DreamHack Masters in North America. That's great.
That's an awesome
great.
showing for 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Again, remembering how little they played online Counter-Strike in the last couple of years, and with the amount of teams that we were already starting to fall into mediocrity.
Yeah, mediocrity. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I thought they may
Friends
fall
don't have
victim
to
to
apologize,
that.
Connor.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But is Twitch chat, my friend? Depends on the day.
It depends on the day.
I hope they like me more than Pimp. We've got Liaz gunning down bodies here towards long. And this one's looking all too easy. Sudden little pistol round, turned back a little bit as JT lands the headshot. And he's looking for another one over there behind the car. Sonic smokes himself out, just trying to stay alive. But point being, if 100 Thieves come into this tournament and the coming months as one of the top contenders of the region, we know that the top of North America is in question right now. Team Liquid have not looked perfect. EG are in a spiral. MIBR are basically no longer. We have Furia who have been successful. Cloud9 were kind of being promising, and there was the question mark around the Thieves. Well, they are looking hot and heavy-handed. 14-12, the Aussies go up on this T side, and after a 10-5 half to the favor of Cloud9, that lead has slipped and then some.
They're kind of scoring narrow margin victories, but consistently, which is great. And then there's also, don't forget about your boys on Genji. They also
of course
have had their comeuppance. Yeah, so there are some,
of course,
some up and coming, some question marks. Sit there, all the question marks are all in the wrong place is the only problem. You could totally have a situation where basically all teams look good. The only issue would be, of course, that if EG and Liquid look good, then there's not a lot of room for Genji and Cloud9 to look extraordinary. They could still look good if they bring maps close, but ultimately it's a zero-sum game. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But man, off that 1v1, such an important round. You've got now 100 Thieves up 14-12.
Yeah, what I wanted to say at the end of the last round was that, even though he loses the 1v4 in the pistol round, which would have been the coolest clip of the map, I think that one kind of makes up for it a little bit. Liaz has to be happy. He gets that headshot as he burns to a crisp. But this round is pivotal. The 27th.
The push in the upper tunnels.
They just missed JKS.
Yeah, they clear it out.
So that means that Cloud9 are in a really strong spot right now. It's going to be raising warning flags for the Cat players who should be expecting bodies their way. All the while, Floppy looking to strike, and he catches Justin Savage. Floppy tucks in behind the Xbox. This is going to make it really difficult for the terrorists to deal with him. They can't go back, and they know what could lie ahead. It helps that Sonic has no help from long, and that's a fantastic flash, but he's still managing to come up with at least one kill. Floppy strikes on the flank, and Liaz has to clutch again. 26 kills already. And with a 3-piece in this round, he does have time. He's going to sprint for the bomb, doubling back, going for long, and getting this one in. OC has all the health in the world, all the utility he needs. But if Liaz strikes him down with the op, then this one is over. He burns. He fumbles the jump, gets stuck in the flames, and it's a crispy Liaz on the A site as Cloud9 find 13.
My guy has been swinging for the fences. He's pulling over 100 ADR. He was so close to being able to pull that off too. And I just want to see him have success because he's actually such a smart clutch player. It's just that his mechanics, I think, has been holding his results back. But now it feels like he's finding consistency in the mechanics department. And there, I feel like just doubts himself a bit too much. He could have been susceptible to a flash, yes, if he pushed forward. But running back through the Molotov, maybe it should have been a preemptive decision. Either I go back to the ramp or I risk the nades coming back to me. But obviously, you know, everyone's an expert in hindsight. Yeah, and it's just one tick away from dying. Really close. Nice attempt, but also cool. Cloud9 bringing that back, and now we've got a real competitive game. And finally, by a small margin, Cloud9 win the clutch.
Man of the match.
This one?
Modem has a 1.26 pistol round rating with a 1.09 rating overall.
Modem of the match. Do we know what Modem stands for? I mean, we know what Modem stands for man of the match. But does that is that his name, what it stands for? Or is his name Mitch and his name stands for Mitch of the match? Could be. You'd have to ask him. Or he's a little occupied. True. A little occupado. Oh boy, big shot from JKS, just the first. Oh, and they're gonna fight for this one. 100 Thieves not wanting to give away long A for free. It's been a while since we saw Cloud9 come into this portion of the map at the start aggressively and not die to the Opper. So, considering that JKS could have regained vision and gunned down 2 bodies, I think Cloud9 are thankful to be in this position. They see Jacob and deal with him swiftly. Liaz, 1v4. You know what? Good time to shout out Sonic too, because Sonic did incredibly well to get the 1 kill on the A site when he was being crushed from long and short and blind from the default box. That takes composure. That takes resolve. That could have been an easy 2K spray down, but a good flash, yeah. Yeah, even if he didn't know, it's just the heads were side by side. Yeah, that's right. Woo! Round 29, baby! That's what we love to see. Ooh, and they're still fighting. Listen, Gratisfaction has come out better than not on these types of duels, but Jacob, even if he didn't expect that good reaction, loses 3/4 of his health and yet still stands, upgrading into the M4, putting Cloud9 into an awkward spot. JKS dodging the flash, but Jacob brings it back, killing out Floppy and keeping a man advantage. Little stress break here for the 100 Thieves. They've done a lot in this early round. It could be deciding. Sonic is always going for info. Oh, he gets spotted. That is rough. That allows the jump across to occur. And now JT alone on A. You know when JT shines? When he has a nice flash to help him out. That's when he friggin' multi-frags. But for now, it's just going to have to be him, his AK, and his lonesome to lock this down. Sonic's not going to be able to help out. He's got to make sure his B teammate doesn't get rushed. All the while, though, OC's starting to work on map control. So this means it could be a longer bout if 100 Thieves don't move quickly. Yeah, there's a rotate. They've got tunnels control. They're running. Could be a big chance for OC to come on the flank, but JT in the bomb site lines them all up. Oh, what could have been. Sonic next at bat, and he grabs a second. Liaz taken out of the equation. Jacob low HP, and yet still he has a chance. He's seen the last CT. OC with the op taking a bit more damage. There's 20 seconds left. And with Jacob putting down the smoke, he welcomes the CT to peak, but it looks like OC wants the post plant. He has a Molotov. Remember, they've already won in a situation like this when they burned Liaz out, but the smoke is the reason OC can't throw it. He decides to commit, and Jacob swings. Jacob does what Liaz didn't. He goes forward, not back, and 100 Thieves secure OT at the least
15-14, one chance for Cloud9 to stop this.
And you think Sonic wins this. He almost gets the double. He holds it down, but he doesn't have anywhere to run. And Jacob, as you mentioned, pulls off this 1v2 OC, making the same decisions, tossing the nades around the corner, pushing Jacob forward. Of course, Liaz in that situation had an op. It was a bit more scary, but you saw the opportunity at hand if someone's throwing grenades. Liaz going crazy. Liaz has had 4 triple kill rounds on this map. That is a daunting stat line. He's got 28 kills so far. It would be a travesty if they lost this map, but you can't say the same amount of effort hasn't been put down on Cloud9. Floppy's got 28 kills. Sonic has been going absolutely hamster wheel right now. JT has been making plays off of these flashbangs with his teammates, doing so good on the rifle. There's just a mad amount of talent all peaking at the same time.
Deep grenade top mid, gonna miss the mark. I had the pleasure of interviewing JKS back in February, and he said that if there was gonna be another player who, from Australia, could break into the top 20 of 2020, he selected Liaz. So
I agree.
Cool to see that paying off for the time being. Lots of utility here, 400 Thieves. Tons of it. And not so much can be said for Cloud9. Funny how they no longer try to take those early peaks. They realize the error of their ways in giving up opening duels. They've come out worse for wear because of those types of setups. So they play reserved, try to settle into the bomb sites, try and lock this down. Molotov towards Cat, burning down the clock somewhat. Long A completely unoccupied from both teams.
Scary situation, Sonic. He knows he needs to make a play if this gets hairy on Cat, but he doesn't want to push through the doors and die at the same time. You know, this is when we really see who the smart players are. They can find this timing.
30 seconds left in regulation, and this is what it's all going to come down to. Anybody's map to take. Cloud9 have a longer road if they're going to hold this off, but here comes what's left of their utility, and 100 Thieves are just going to try to barrel onto the bomb site. JT tucked in for the time being. Floppy hits the headshot. JT adds another to the board. Gratisfaction through the box. 8 seconds left over. The T's are sprinting in. It stinks of desperation, and it all falls short. Cloud9 keep Dust 2 rolling.
Man, Floppy, that kill, blind. Flick onto elbow, and then JT popping up and popping him off. Deagle kill.
Bam.
JT, boom. Hits another one. The trades come out. They try so hard. The spacing is good from 100 Thieves. They get so close. They don't find the timing on JT. Floppy draws their attention. And just like that, we're in OT. I think this map absolutely had to go to OT. It had to.
Yeah. More and more of this, please. And you know what's wild as well is no matter who picks up this map, all right? We'll get back to Dust 2, but no matter who picks this up, we have Mirage up next. And that map can lead us to the exact type of explosive Counter-Strike we're getting right now. This could be one of the best series of this group. Thus far, it has delivered. But let's settle back in because we have a possibility of 6 more rounds here on the first one. Modem gonna come up empty. Gratisfaction, great cover from downtown. OC, he's gonna get close as he can. Bomb has been able to cross over towards the ramp. Floppy's been found out, so they know that their flank is compromised. But an even 3v3, and these snipers want their frags. Bomb goes down.
Oh, he's sitting in that smoke. I mean, Floppy's running a very dangerous gambit here by sitting here. He might have info on Car, but he gets spotted first. Gratisfaction's wise to the process, and Jacob, wow, another 2 kills at the end of it. 3 up for 100 Thieves. That's not the first time that they've been flanked that long, and it's also not the first time that they've won despite being flanked.
Awesome stuff. Calling out Floppy, though, that was a big one. I mean, you could see from the perspective of Azur that he was far more concerned with the player being inside of pit. And Floppy could have done that. He could have jumped into the pit and had that cover to make plays. However, we then get the op pinned in on the position, and then Floppy looks a little foolish as his feet can be seen, and he is very quickly swept away. Man disadvantage, didn't play into the retake, and 100 Thieves pick up that first one. So, of course, for clarity's sake, 19 rounds for the win, 18 to secure double OT. And Sonic finds him. You know what? Of all the opening op duels, that cat op from the CTs has been the most successful.
Yeah, the most one-sided. Yeah, for sure. He just walks out into that, calls that out as soon as it comes out. Sonic, man, he's got instant transition. He curls up into a ball and speeds across the map. He's able to find another kill with the op, kind of dry, throw some great grenades here to shy them off cat presence. That was 100 Thieves plan stuffed.
Oh, dangerous game. But it pays. Azur falls into the CT spawn. One job, and he does it perfectly. OC missing a couple of shots, and that's going to open a door towards the B site. Azur cutting off the CT spawn is going to make it even worse, but Floppy, he's given individual duels. He's given 1v1s, and he only picks up the first. Can JT claw this back? He knows that Azur's been over towards the spawn. He could creep by, and that's going to be a little bit of timing for him to play from.
Man, Azur, he's really taking his time here. He's not anticipating JT being able to walk out this far. He'll start now to peer towards the window, and he doesn't make it out. It actually doesn't matter because Jacob's got that locked down. He was just watching the door. Did not need to even be responsible for that part of the site. This is a good round from 100 Thieves, but there is a glaring mistake. After all this work that Sonic does, this mistake is mechanical. It's OC missing 2 shots at mid, both of which he should have absolutely hit.
Yep. And as we get through the overtime, those small mistakes are going to look glaringly large because we all watch that unfold, and we know that if OC just even cut down one body, suddenly it becomes way more possible.
Yeah, and we say that obviously we know how good he can be and how impactful, but yeah, one of his biggest follies right now is just the consistency on some of the easier shots. And Sonic, he'll try to do it again. Bit more patience here from 100 Thieves, coupled with a flash. No op to challenge. Just want to shy back any presence. That's a 3v5 to their name. 2 up in the half already, looking for the perfect half. OC, nice tag.
He hits that. You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
That's just a prime example of what we're talking about. Not the kill versus Gratisfaction, and unfortunate because this is the second time Gratisfaction's been tagged by OC through doors and then turns around and gets a kill just moments later. Thievery.
Yeah, they've started to curl back a bit. Eyes on Floppy. Now playing A more often here in the pit with a single flash.
Ooh, not going to find anything for it. There is damage versus 2 of these 5. But the 5 versus 3 definitely favoring the Thieves, and they are gunning for a clean sweep of this T side. So that would leave Cloud9's only option being double overtime or loss. Sonic trying his damnedest to do something about this long play, but there's so many bodies tucked to the wall. Modem's at bat, and he too down. OC fumbles, and that is excellent stuff from 100 Thieves. 3 straight rounds on their T side. That's going to take all of the pressure off of them here on the defense.
Oh, the trades were so good. I mean, there's a couple of rounds now where Floppy has gotten close to getting a kill, but not completed it. Once, he did hold down B with 1 frag, couldn't get the second where you needed him to do that. And throughout regulation, he was an all-star. In OT, he hasn't had enough impact to carry in a situation where, OC's lagging a bit behind this match, Modem's lagging a bit behind this match, and 100 Thieves are jumping on that because, again, they're more consistent.
Whoa. Sonic through the smoke, though.
Sonic's
been
been
now's
everything.
the time.
Sonic's been everything in OT. He has been opping lights out. I mean, he's definitely been the best op on Cloud9, and seriously, a fantastic op at that.
Lucky for them that they have that connecting at the moment. Does give a little bit of leeway to the double op potential for Cloud9. I love how close together Cloud9 is. If we have an aerial shot of these guys going up cat, I mean, they are glued together. Like some sort of 3-headed Cerberus.
The human centipede.
Ew. Let's see if this one looks a little better. Cloud9. Ready for the peak, but nothing there. 100 Thieves understand where Cloud9 could be. They're just going to let them make their play. 2 smokes landing on the ledge. Trying to play around this one, doing a great job of blinding Gratisfaction off of his preferred angles, but Jacob hot on the flank. He finds OC playing with grenades. 2Ts come back to clear him, and he falls victim to the same thing he just punished, using utility when the gunfights unfold. Floppy pinned in behind the boxes. Bomb is planted for Catwalk, so they just have to try and lock this off. Sonic in with another op kill, bags them, and Cloud9 still have a chance.
You have to wonder where Jacob thought they were going to go with the bomb plant down off of the cat play. You know, like coming back to hold cat was more natural than pushing towards long. Even though that was an option, he had teammates at long, so I think it was kind of a bit of unawareness there from Jacob to get himself killed. Cloud9 picked that round up off of patiently pushing into the frags, playing smart off of the counter utility. Floppy trying to entry out long, supporting Modem, who I think has temporarily handed the op. I don't know if he's going to have that change hands. Gratisfaction is going to pop off at the early 5v4. OC goes down early. Maybe that op does stay in his hands. No, Sonic now has picked it up.
Watch Cloud9 claw back last round. No reason they can't do it again, but they've just got to find their opening. And it's not going to come easy if all they do is move in on one part of the map. And right now, that's all they have to work with. Long A. The more Gratisfaction goes to clear out Catwalk, the less confident I am in Cloud9 being able to hold this, or even getting across. They're going to announce themselves with a couple of smokes here. Utility dumped over towards the ramp. Gratisfaction, he's kind of caught in no man's land, but he's still capable. 2 kills coming in for the Thieves. This looks like Dust 2 done, but there's still the chance. Sonic inside of the smoke. It's a wild round, and 100 Thieves prevail in the chaos. Not the first round we saw them come out of top when playing close to smokes and getting up in the faces of Cloud9, and I think that's why they won this map. They were up in Cloud9's faces. They were kicking them in the grills, and they weren't giving them any chance to really breathe at times. But what an awesome showing from some of the individuals across that series. I can't wait to hear what the analysts have to say about map 1. So we'll send this to the break and come back with them.